Hey YouTube, today this is going to be a response video to one of my subscriptions for a Big Land Trapper. It's going to be a roast jerky. It's pretty simple, a few ingredients here and there. Other than that, I'll kind of go step by step here and kind of give you a few little tips here and there. I guess let's get started. First, we're going to have our little list of ingredients here. We got some Worcestershire sauce, some soy sauce, some liquid smoke, some good old-fashioned table salt, and I just spilled it everywhere, some garlic powder, and good old Tabasco. You don't need this. It's not really on the recipe, but I say screw it. It tastes pretty good. And then we got some brown sugar. Yes. Delicious brown sugar. Basically, all we're going to do is be mixing all these ingredients together. I don't know if you can see that, but I have a roast right there and thawing out. Now the key is to get these in good, nice, thin slices is slice it when it's just starting to thaw out. I mean, that's when it bakes the best. I'll get this stuff ready to get put together, and I'll turn the camera back on. So we'll see you in a bit. Alright, welcome back. I've got everything ready to go. I'm going to just kind of throw it all together here for you. And then after the meat is at the right consistency here, I will slice that up and we'll go from there. But as the little note cardy thing says here, let's get started, shall we? Alright, we got the brown sugar. We got 1.5 cups. 1/2. Alright. Next on the list is the soy sauce. And we need 1.5 cups of this. So I'm pretty sure that whoever came up with this basically found bottles of the stuff and just went by how much was in the bottle making this recipe. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, next is the Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to get about, see, 1/3 of the cup here. Chug-a-lug. Good enough. Alright, now for liquid smoke. It calls for 3/4 cup, and that's pretty much what we're putting in there anyway. That's all that's in the bottle. We're going with the natural hickory flavor. So, yep, 3/4 cup. All that goes in there. And because I'm from the country, I really don't like using measuring utensils, but I do have a little special teaspoon here, and I don't for my tablespoon because, well, that's just how I cook. So, for the salt, it calls for a little bit of salt, just a teaspoon or so. I wouldn't recommend this at home, especially if your significant other is kind of a clean freak, because it is by no means a clean process here. And then we need a tablespoon of garlic. So I'm going to set this camera down for just a moment. Damn it. You guys can enjoy my lovely living room or whatnot. So there's my tablespoon of garlic. Ta-da! And that's it for the marinade, except for I like to throw in a little of this stuff. Not too much, just enough to give it some zing. Alright, that's good. Alright, and then all you're going to really do is mix this good stuff up. It kind of looks like shit now, but it tastes delicious. So let's walk over here and see if we can find a good utensil. Let's see. Organization is key. Where did that whisk go? Oh well. We'll go with the fork. Basically, you're just going to stir it up until there's no sediment sitting at the bottom. Just get it all nice and stir it in there. I hope this helps out a lot of people, because I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people that don't know what to do with their roasts, and a lot of them like throw it in the crock pot with some vegetables here and there, maybe some cream mushroom soup, slice it up. I don't know what you guys do with it, but what I like to do is make jerky, and it's by far the best way to use it up, and it goes the quickest. If I had a whisk, this would have been done about 20 minutes ago. And seeing how I'm not left-handed, I'm going to switch hands. Alright, I would say that's pretty good. Now, like I said, we just got to wait for this to get just soft from the top, and that's when it's just perfect for slicing up meat. So what I'm going to do is maybe stir this up a little more and let it sit, and when it comes time to slicing, I'm hoping somebody's home to hold the camera, because there's no way I'm going to be able to put this in my mouth and slice it up at the same time. But until then, I will put these up there so you guys can get started, and we'll go from there. Hey YouTube, welcome back. It's been overnight. Here are jerky slices. As you can see, some of it's a little bit thicker than other. I guess I let it thaw out a little too much. But like I said, once just the top of the roast is just enough to squish a little bit, and it's still pretty solid, that's the time to really slice it, because then you get really nice thin slices, and they're not going to be too thin, and they're not going to be overly thick. But anyways, what we got going here is we got the oven preheated to 190. What we're going to need to bake the jerky is a kitchen steel or something along those lines, maybe an old knife. You'll find out reason why later. We got our wire rack on top of our cookie sheet. Now, when this is done preheating, basically what this is doing is going right in the door. Pop it open, put it in, shut it, and it leaves a gap. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it leaves a gap between the door and the actual oven, letting air go through. So that helps with the curing or the cooking process. Now, there's no real space requirements for this. Basically what you're doing is you're just trying to put on as much as you can as possible, and then, because the more you cook, the quicker it's done, the sooner you can hide it from all the hungry children that are going to be sniffing it out, because the smell does not go away. Trust me. I could make 13 batches of this, and as soon as those kids get home, it's gone. So obviously somebody's doing something. But yeah, you're basically going to be baking this for about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on how thin the slices are. So I'll get all this put on here, and then now that you guys have the recipe and the cooking requirements and so forth, you should be good to go. Enjoy your jerky. I just kind of want to give a shout out to Big Land Trapper. Thanks for kind of giving me a little push to actually start making these videos, because I got a bunch to make now. Trust me. If you like these, feel free to subscribe, comment. Oh, there goes the oven. Alright, well, thanks YouTube. This is the Trailer Hood Woodsman. I am signing off. Goodbye. Alright guys, it's been about almost 3 hours actually, and my oven's kind of a piece of shit. But this is what the jerky looks like afterwards. The cookie sheet on the bottom, I sprayed some Pam on to kind of get the drippings off a little bit easier. But see, it's nice and soft, and the thinner pieces are nice, and I mean it tastes delicious. That's the best way to test it, is to try some. But yeah, there you go guys. That's deer roast jerky. I got about 2 more batches worth, and I'm going to be putting this stuff on a paper towel here just to kind of get some of that excess goo off of it, which still tastes really frickin' good. And then I'm going to box it up and send some to my dad and my sister up in Michigan. So here we go.